Welcome back to our channel. On today's video, I'm not going to disappoint you. We're going to be looking at before and after footage of Hurricane Ian. Of course, as you guys know, I record videos in Naples, so I went back and I recorded a video showing the same exact place. Now keep in mind that the speed of these vehicles driving are different. The angle of the camera is different. So for me to bring you this footage that you're looking at here, I thought it would be easy, but once I started to edit this video, I realized how difficult it would be to match up these clips. So it's not perfect, but it's still an incredible video that's going to show you the before and after destruction of Naples, Florida. So right now we're driving along the coast. You can see the video on the left is before the hurricane, and the video on the right is after the hurricane. Now this area of Naples suffered wind and storm surge, and on the video you can see the path of destruction of the hurricane as if it were happening. If this video gets a lot of views, I can see me repeating this process for Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and many other places. But for the time being, you can see the changes in coloration of the grass, how the hedges immediately died when they were put under the storm surge, and how the vegetation immediately changed color. If you pay close attention, you can also notice how much the vegetation has grown in about a 1 year period. Now, I had family members that stayed in this neighborhood, and they said the water came up to the windows on most houses, and it was absolutely one of the most scary experiences they ever went through. Not sure why they stayed in a house near the water, but they felt because it was a big newer home that it would be safe. You can really tell how destructive the hurricanes are and how much of a damage they have, not only on the color but also on the foliage of the plants. How many of these places were lush and beautiful and colorful, and all of a sudden after the hurricane the entire amount of vegetation was gone. You can also see that in a 1 year period many lots have been cleared, many houses have been knocked down to build other houses, and that's pretty much what happens in Naples. Even without the hurricane, in a 1 year period a lot can change. I still haven't been able to get into Fort Myers Beach and Bonita Beach. These are areas that I have a lot of before footage of. They just haven't allowed anybody who's not a resident to enter these areas, since there's still extensive searches going on in these areas. So back to the video, you can see here how the wind and the storm surge pretty much destroy the vegetation and how much debris is left over after the storm. Naples is a beautiful city, and I definitely think it will rebound eventually. The area we're driving through now is north of downtown Naples along the coast, so the beach would be along to your left, and to the right would be US 41. You can see that the storm surge destroys the grass, and it is believed that anything that touches salt water that's really not like a mangrove or some types of palm trees usually dies because of it. A lot of plants just can't handle the salinity of that storm surge water. You can see here the coloration almost looks like maybe fall type vegetation. You'll never see this in Florida usually unless there's incredibly high winds. Despite the damage to the vegetation, it seems like most palm trees and very large plants are going to be back to their normal condition in maybe like a 6 month period. So eventually Naples will be beautiful again. But for now, you'll definitely see some ugly sights. Pay attention to the power pole there. You can see there's no electricity. You can see these palm trees here got beat up really well. Another thing that's really interesting is, like, let's say like the coconut trees, like some of them don't really seem to get a lot of damage, especially once they're nice and tall. But if they're closer to the ground, they take a much bigger beating. And a lot of the vegetation that's like native to tropical climates does really well with hurricanes. But some of the vegetation that's from other parts of the country or from other types of climates, they definitely take a huge beating. Notice how on the right the guy's picking up scrap metal and he's keeping it for probably to sell it for scrap metal. He found a nice aluminum table there. Definitely the storm surge, when it goes inside of people's houses, they got to get rid of all their furniture, carpets, anything that gets wet that's not supposed to. As you can see there, it creates a lot of destruction. Also interesting how a lot of the trees died, like the hedges. They really seem to take a beating, especially the ones that are kind of shrubby looking. I do feel like structurally Naples did really well. It's not like Fort Myers Beach, Bonita Beach, Barefoot Beach. They had a lot of structural damage. Like, it's sad to see some of the bigger trees fall, but it's incredible also to see how many plants survived. In Naples, it kind of looks like crap now, but like I said, in enough time, everything will go back to normal. But places like when I do this before and after in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers Beach, it will definitely be shocking because we're going to see entire buildings that are gone. We're going to see some incredible crap once we're actually able to drive through there. And even if it's not like right after the hurricane, even if it's after cleanup, it will still be shocking when I put the before and after footage of Bonita Springs, Barefoot Beach, and also Fort Myers Beach. This is going to be like really shocking footage to compare. Right now we're by Seagate. That's the school that's off of Pine Ridge and US 41. Hopping back into downtown, I ran the video backwards. You'll be able to appreciate that we're looking at two different sides of the road, but we're kind of moving in the same direction. So I know this video is kind of weird because one video is kind of moving backwards. But it'll give you an idea of downtown Naples, what it looked like before the hurricane and what it looks like now on the right. You'll see the vegetation of this plant right here. It was nice and lush and green, but now you look at it on the right and it's completely destroyed. So you can definitely tell a difference before and after. Now downtown Naples had about 3 feet of water. So all the areas you're looking at here from downtown Naples, the storm surge was 3 feet of water. Now these are not the same exact places, but you can see the difference on palm tree lined avenues. Back over here, I think we're looking at exactly the same thing. It looks like a building was knocked down on the left. You can tell the difference on these royal palm trees and these shrubs that are completely gone at the bottom. We're heading north along Gulf Shore Boulevard, I believe. And you can see here the sand on the road, indications that it was underwater and submerged. It's incredible that I was able to match up these videos and bring you guys this footage just to show you guys kind of the path of destruction of this hurricane and what it did. And again, here we're looking at opposite sides of the road, but we're cruising at the same exact spot. Interesting videos. I hope you guys liked it.